Heather Raffa with Renegade Upcycled Goods here. I'm still in my pajamas this morning, so I'm not going to show me, but I am going to give you a quick tip on taking the plastic labels off of bottles like this. And first thing, soaking it in water doesn't help get the plastic labels off. So I'm heating my water up till it's really hot. And I fill the bottle up. And set it aside. Do that with all my bottles. So I'm filling it up with really hot water. Probably about 120 degrees, I think. And let that sit for just a moment. And then I have a couple of bottles that I filled up right before I started filming. Might be ready. Try to do it one-handed. So then you can get your fingernail behind the plastic label and peel it off. So it'll leave a sticky residue, which we'll get to later. So then you peel off all the labels to get the plastic out of the way. You can't get the glue off until the plastic label is off. Sorry, trying to do it one-handed. There we go. If you have a heat gun or something like that, that might work too. But this way is super easy. And the last one. This bottle has 3 different labels on it. Now some people like to save the label, like if they're doing bottle melting, to turn it into like a spoon rack rest or something, and this way saves the labels just fine. You just want to be maybe a little extra careful, and then when they melt the bottle they put it back on. That wouldn't really be helpful with these dark blue bottles because you wouldn't see the label through the glass, because you don't want to put the label where your spoon rests. You'd put it on the back or on the inside or something. Oh, well, if you're melting it you can't put it on the inside. So off camera, I'll take off the rest of these labels and then I'll continue. Okay, I just finished removing the last label from my 6-pack. And then I just pour the water out of each of the bottles. Okay, so I've got the water out of all the bottles. And there are a couple different ways you can remove the glue. You can use vegetable oil and baking soda and make a paste that you apply thickly to the bottle and let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes and then scrub off, but you're still going to have to scrub probably. And that works pretty well for glass, but it does kind of depend on what exact glue it is. I've had really good results with Goo Gone as well. And you'll note I decided to put gloves on for this part. So just, it helps if you have it in like a spray bottle or something. Just going to line that up. But you can also just pour it on. Carefully. And then spread it around. Another option is to make a little pool of it. You can do it in a dish or just on your counter if you don't have an absorbent surface on your counter or something that's going to get damaged. Like some counters have like a sealant on them, like your stone countertops. Probably wouldn't want to apply this directly to your stone countertops. Oh, some of that label just wiped off while I was trying to rub the Goo Gone onto it. Now these are vinyl gloves, but you can also use rubber gloves. These are the nice thick reusable kind. I haven't really experimented with what gloves work best for this. This method works really well to conserve your Goo Gone, because I can just rub one bottle in after the other. Yeah, that's coming right off, and I'm not even letting it soak or scrub. And so I'll continue this with the rest of the bottles, and then the last step. Okay, so I took my sponge and wiped off all the Goo Gone and glue. I forgot to put the cap on my Goo Gone. You want to make sure you don't leave that off. And so now I'm filling a sink with soapy water to wash the bottles inside and out. But before I put them in the soapy water, this Goo Gone will basically how do I want to say, the soap and the Goo Gone interact with each other to kind of cancel each other out. And I still need to actually wash the inside of these bottles and everything. So first I'm taking a sponge with soapy water on it. Well, it's really just damp sponge with a lot of soap on it. And rubbing the bottles. Hard to do one-handed and film at the same time. So I wipe all those off with soapy water and rinse them first. And then I put them in the dishwater to soak. Hold on. Okay. Then take each of your bottles, rinse the soapy Goo Gone off, stick it in your sink full of hot soapy water. You want to let that soak for like 20-30 minutes if you have anything inside your bottles that you need to get out. So I'm just submerging them. Make sure they're, so you want to let them submerge them with the, submerge them with the neck up to let water in so they'll sink. Then you want to make sure to clean up your Goo Gone or your oil and baking soda from your counter before any pets or anything get into it. So you use your soapy sponge for that. And rinse. Okay, these haven't really soaked yet. The best way to get them clean on the inside is to use a bottle scrubber. I only have one bottle scrubber and it's for my fish tank, so I don't want to use it in this because then I'll contaminate my fish tank pipes. I really should get another one. But alternately, you can have it so it's partway filled up, cover the top. Don't stick your finger inside the bottle to plug it up because suction could cause your finger to get stuck in there. But you can cover it up with your thumb if your thumb's big enough. Mine's not quite. Or part of your hand, and then shake it. Another thing that I have tried in the past, I haven't tried it with this bottle, but I tried it with a different, bigger bottle, is to cut your sponge in little tiny pieces, stuff it inside, and then shake it around vigorously. It took some arm strength. It was a cider jug. I think it was a half-gallon cider jug that I did it to, and it worked. But this has a really long, skinny neck, so I think I would have a pretty hard time pulling the pieces of sponge back out. I had a little bit bigger neck, and I just used a little dowel or skewer to pull it back out. So shaking the camera and the bottle. And then you would just wash those out, rinse them out thoroughly. One of my tips for rinsing it out, you probably know this, but I'll say it anyway. It can be really hard to get the soap out, so I like to fill the bottle up. Don't have the water coming out full of air bubbles, it helps. And then just fill it up and all the soap bubbles will float to the top and come out that way. And you might have to tilt a little bit because sometimes soap bubbles will get stuck in the neck, especially in this little section where my pinky is wiggling here. So you can tilt that, or you might pour some out, swish it around, and then do it again to get the rest of the soap out. Oh, yep, there was some stuck on the inside of the neck. So I'll try that again. So you just do that until it comes out clear. And then you can use it for whatever craft project you want. Have fun being creative. Till next time.